Frequently asked questions. How do I stop breastfeeding? Well, there's a number of ways that you can wean. Sometimes the baby just does it itself, himself, herself, whatever. Baby led weaning, they kind of just, um, over time, just stop feeding as much and they just gradually stop on their own. Or you can do it in your own way. There's always kind of a timing thing with slowly decreasing the time that you do nurse, or taking away a nursing session and then doing it that way. So slowly decreasing the feeds or the time. I mean, the baby might not like it, or they may not care at all. So it's really whatever works, but yes. How long can breast milk be out for? Is it okay if you go to work and pump at work? Yeah, so breast milk, if you look on guidelines for the United States or in what other countries, there's a site that usually, CDC for the United States, that states the direct guidelines. So freshly expressed breast milk can be out for 6 hours. So if you're like going to work or something, you really only need an ice pack if you feel like it's necessary. But otherwise, you can just let it sit out. It's okay. If you had a breast lift or like plastic surgery or augmentation rather, are you able to breastfeed? Yes. So oh my god, the implants don't impact the milk production. So the only real concern would be the nipple. So when you're breastfeeding, so nipple stimulation is pretty important for milk coming out. So say if somebody had inverted nipples and the nipples weren't able to come out at all, even with stimulation, that's usually an indication that it's usually not an indication, oh my gosh, it's usually the milk's usually very difficult to come out. So it's not really an issue of that the milk can't like get around the implants. It's usually an issue if the nipples were damaged or something along those lines. So some people have, or a lot of people have asked about if they can nurse again or produce milk again. Like say they're like, oh, I stopped nursing my baby early because it wasn't working out, but now I want to try again. Am I able to lactate again? So milk, colostrum is made from the placenta, which we all know what the placenta is. So unless you've actually given birth, excuse me, you're not really able to successfully lactate in terms of producing enough to feed a child. Oh, the sun. Um, but you do have at least 6 months from when you either stopped nursing or gave birth. Excuse me, that's what has been shown to be the least amount of time that there has been efficient lactation after stimulating lactation, which can be done with pumps or manual massage and expression. It's not a definite that it's going to work, but it's possible. Okay, another question is if I'm not making enough milk, am I not going to be able to feed my baby enough? Am I ever going to get more milk? So milk production is based off of a lot of things. Sometimes it's based just purely off of physiological reasons, like especially if someone's an oversupplier. There's also reasons for that, but sometimes it's just their body. So that's one. But another one is the frequency of feeds. How often are you nursing, pumping, expressing milk? This plays into a lot because milk production, it gets the signal from stimulation, so to let down. So frequency of feeds, an efficient latch. So is your baby efficiently getting the milk removals being efficient? Oh my god, I can't talk. So if the baby doesn't have the most efficient latch, not enough milk's gonna be coming out. And your body is, the amount of milk that is coming out is a continuous thing with your body telling you to make more milk. So if there's not enough coming out, then your body's not gonna tell you to make, XYZ that much more. Um, Also, the position of the baby can also affect the latch efficiently, so take that in mind. Pumping, if you're pumping, the flange size is super important. We don't want it to be squished. We don't want like the nipple to be squished in there. Give the nipple some room to breathe. Make sure you have the right flange size, because that can also make a big difference. So there's definitely some factors to look into to see if you're able to increase your milk supply. Also with, like I mentioned before, manual milk expression, similar to oh my god, what's it called? Power pumping. So basically the same idea of doing a breast massage, which I have a video for it, and to have a video for the expression, is super important to help the stimulation get started and stuff like that. So I would recommend trying that as well with increasing feeding if you feel like you're wanting more of a milk supply. Of course, there's always way more questions, but that's it for right now. So any questions, let me know.